Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and tonight we record episode 105 of the Nintendo Shack podcast here on Halloween Eve. Joining me as she does every week in the Nintendo Shack is my girl, Caroline. What's up, hun?
I feel like I need to host today after the day that you've had.
It's been a day. It has been a day. That I can say. We
shall touch on it momentarily.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But let's start off like we do each and every week by thanking our patrons. So, Caroline, I need a noun.
A noun. A remote control.
I need an adjective.
Pink.
I need an animal.
Giraffe.
I need another one.
Another animal?
Mm-hmm.
Zebra.
You immediately go to like this line.
Serengeti.
I need a verb that ends in ing.
Milking. Oh no.
I need an adjective.
Shiny.
The same one. I need a patron.
Barry Cathcart.
A color.
A color?
Mm-hmm.
Indigo.
I need two nouns.
Cat and dog.
Now I need an animal.
Another animal?
Give me two nouns that aren't animals.
All right. Let's go with ketchup and mustard.
Nice.
And the other animal we will say is a hippopotamus.
I need a verb that ends in ed.
Warranted.
And I need a noun.
Knife. Is this a spooky Halloween one?
It's not, and I should have, but I've had zero time, but that would
Darn.
make sense. In J.R.R. Tolkien's famous trilogy, Lord of the Remote Controls, the first book is called Fellowship of the Remote Control. In this book, a group of pink hobbits flee their hometown. They eventually join into a fellowship made of giraffes, elves, and zebras, with the goal of milking the one remote control. They begin by traveling through the shiny mountains where Barry Cathcart, the Indigo, is lost. They continue on to the forest where the Queen of the Ketchup gives them mustard to ride down the river. And at the end of the book, Merry and Pippin get captured by hippos, and Frodo is warranted by one of his fellow knives and leaves on his own, but with Sam.
Oh, Brian would love that. He's a big, huge Lord of the Rings fan. But Barry Cathcart, the Indigo, I love it.
We will have the sequel next week. How about that?
Sweet.
How about that?
Two Towers.
Let's get into the show proper. And, I might need a minute. But let me start by saying patrons of PSVG, those of you that support us over at patreon.com/PSVG, we put out an exclusive podcast over the weekend. It was originally on the DLC show. So we started recording DLC, and 3 hours later, we were like, we can't release this like this. So I stripped it out, sent it out separately. Here's the idea. I want us all to do shows together from the same location, at the same table, in the same house. It's a thing that I've been wanting to do for like 2 years now. And I finally put pressure on the rest of the team to like make it happen. And I put it out to the patrons. I said, here was the pitch. I would put up $1,000 of my own money towards the house. And we would stop the patron giveaways for 2020. So instead of doing the giveaways, we'll take all the money for the giveaway stuff and the shipping and all that, and we'll put it towards this goal. If I could get half of the team to commit to going. That was the deal. And we put out a request. Patrons, I need to hear you. Tell me if you're okay with this, because if you're not okay with it, we won't do it. First day, 10 people wrote me almost immediately since they heard it, like even in the middle of hearing it. Sean was like, I'm in. He's like, I haven't even finished it yet. Yes, the answer is yes. And basically 10 other people said the same thing. The next day I had about 3 or 4. So that's about, I would say it's a little less than half, but I understand that not everybody listens. But just hearing that like immediate reaction made me decide that this is something I want to do. So I did it. And I told the team, and I was like, we've got the people behind us. We've got all the things, who's in, who's out. Let me get a head count. And we reached 7. I don't even remember the 7 off the top of my head right now because I've had a very busy day and I haven't but it's me, Kev, Josh, Kyle, Dev, Coach is a maybe, Caroline's a maybe. Who am I missing? Nathan's a maybe. I'm missing 2 or 3 with too many people on staff. Delvin said he's going to come. Lucas, we're trying to pressure Lucas into coming. He doesn't we're trying, we're working on it. Let him know. Everybody let Lucas know. Everybody, that's your goal this week. Everybody message Lucas, tell him you want to see him.
We need his record scratching skills.
I already rented the house. So the moment I had everybody was there and everything, I found a house. I found 6 of them. I started writing everybody. This is how I do things, right? You can't let me like
proactive type A, and I appreciate it.
So I wrote everybody, and I was like, I found this one guy with a house in Ohio, which is like a central location to all of us, really. Like not Dev notwithstanding.
Not Seth.
Right. Oh, Seth will be there. Absolutely. Yeah, that was the other one. So I wrote this guy, and he has it's a 7-bedroom, 9-bed house. Perfect. And I was like, look, here's what we're trying to do. I want to be upfront with you. So if you've got cameras in the house, it doesn't look like a bunch of crazy people like just setting up stuff in your house. He thought this idea was so cool. He was like, you got to be kidding me. This is the coolest thing I've ever heard. So I told him, I was like, well, we have serious internet requires. He's like, done. He's like, I'll put it up 900 megabits. I'll put it up that month. He goes, and if you go ahead and block off the calendar now, I'll give you 10% off. So that's done. This is happening. The PSVG house party will happen E3 2020. At least half of us will be there. And when you go to watch E3 with us and you turn us on, we will all be at the same table, live reacting together, follow-up podcast together. We're going to do crazy other things. If some of us are bringing significant others, there's been talk about maybe doing a show with them. Dev kind of wants to have like a Wives of PSVG thing.
Oh my God.
Like we have ideas going. So let us know. Would
Brian be the only
Yeah, he'd be the wife. He'd be the male wife.
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Why not? I think that'd be an amazing idea.
He would probably just be like, seriously, babe?
I'm going to stop you right there. And we've also discussed in the Discord, in the Battle Pass, for those of you in the Discord, possibly doing something where if patrons want to try and make an event out of it, you might be able to come. Now, I can't sleep you because we're already packed and there's rules in the house. But maybe you could come by. Maybe we could have a live show. Maybe we could do like a beer cater, a meetup, if we have people that want to do it. So really the call to action is we need to hear from you. If you're listening to Shaq, but you don't listen to DLC or you don't listen to the Patreon stuff, this is your, I don't know, not warning, but this is your advance announcement. What do you think?
Because 8 months in advance.
Yeah, we're taking, so in 2020, we will not be doing monthly patron giveaways. So we're going to take all that money, add it to the money that I have, and hopefully pay for the trip. We still have a lot of equipment. We already have a list of equipment. We need cables, we need monitors, we need a camcorder, we need a cam link. We've got all kinds of stuff that we need to pull this off, but we're going to try. We need green screen and lights. I was originally thinking of having your PSVG artwork done in like a real big backdrop. But then somebody was like, why don't you just get a green screen and put it behind you? And I was like, oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Makes more sense.
That's smarter. Thanks. This is why you plan not in a silo. That's why you plan with other people. Mm-hmm. So this is really, 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 really cool. And I'm very, very, very excited. This is my Christmas. Shout out and thanks to my lovely wife who none of this would happen. I mean, so like, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to take too long, but there's some things going on with my work that kind of makes this possible. If you want to hear about it, go listen to the show. But when I brought it up to her, she didn't even flinch or waver. She was like, you absolutely should do this. 100%. It'd be so much fun. She's 100% behind it.
Yeah.
So that was our big announcement yesterday.
Sweet.
Completely drowned out and overshadowed by the announcement that we weren't expecting, where Twinfinite.com put up an article called their 15 best podcasts you can listen to about video games and put PSVG on the list.
We were like,
what? Oh my God. What an amazing moment. What a big day. I had several folks DM me and reach out to me. Shout out to Bad Bit and Luke Lore. Honestly, they just sent some really, really nice messages that I was not expecting. Blew me away. But I told them both, and the same thing I'll tell you, there's a lot of adjectives I could use to try and convey what that feeling was. It's such a rewarding feeling to, not that we're trying to be IGN or anything like that. Obviously we're not.
But I mean, like, just the fact that your hobby ends up getting recognition.
Yeah. To ever be considered by anybody to fit that air. I mean, we're up there with Kinda Funny and IGN and Sacred Symbols and all the all the people that I listen to, all the people that I love, all the people, and we were right there, just right there. PSVG, check out this upstart and check out what they're doing. I was like, oh my God. I told Kevin, no matter if it all goes down in flames after the meetup, we at least had that day, right? We had this day where we were considered amongst the best. And it's just very rewarding to put so much, I don't want to say work, because it's not work, so much effort though. Because we try really, really hard. And I know it doesn't always come across. We've had shows where the audio quality is really lame. We've had streams where the video and the visuals didn't work. And we've had things where it skipped out in the connection. We realize that. But we try really hard. It's not because we're not trying. We are actively trying. Yeah. We're trying very, very hard. And to see it recognized even a little bit by something like that was a big deal. And lots of people put their eyes on it. Like that article got pushed a lot yesterday.
It did.
My phone, for those of you who don't know, I basically run all of PSVG Twitter. So every podcast account, every account, all that, my phone was going bananas. It was all day long. Very, very rewarding. And to even feel like, have an appreciation for like what it must feel like. I'd hate to see what Greg Miller's phone seems like, because every time he tweets, he probably has 100,000 people that,
right. He probably has to turn it off.
But extremely humbling, flattering, rewarding. Again, all the adjectives. I couldn't believe it. Completely drowned out our own announcement, which I was on cloud 9 yesterday. I'm not even gonna tell you. I sent some salacious text to my wife because I was feeling it. I was like, man, I am having the time of my life today. And whenever life feels like it's going that way, you are bound for a course correction. And I got that this morning. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, you might already have seen it. My wife, on her way to drop Jack off at school today, has pulled through the intersection and was hit by an oncoming car across the highway, completely totaling our other vehicle. I
mean, like the engine.
Yeah, the entire front end's gone. Yeah. She broke her ankle. She has a sprained wrist. She has a seatbelt burn going from her top shoulder all across her breast, all the way around her rib, all the way to her hip.
That means it worked.
Yes.
I would rather have that than not.
She had a mark on her forehead. Jack has a seatbelt burn all the way across like his waist. And so the day was, I got this, I was asleep. So I got this call at 7:50 in the morning out of a slumber. Like you pick up the phone and you go, oh, what's going on? You need to come over here to the intersection. Your wife's been in an accident, all that type of stuff. So, frantic morning. Yeah. Everybody's okay-ish, minor injuries aside.
Yesterday was Melissa's birthday.
It was.
That's so sad.
And we only have liability on the car. So we have to buy a new car because we don't carry collisions, old car, we didn't carry all that stuff for it. Not that we would want to repair it anyway. It's an old car and it's destroyed. But we've got to buy a new car now. So
a new used car.
Yeah, I tweeted today, thank God I booked PSVG yesterday because I probably wouldn't have booked it if I waited today. Yeah. Actually, today I probably would have responded to everybody and been like, this is out. This idea is over with. But after all the nerves and everything settled down, I told her that I could cancel it. If I cancel, we'll only be out $250. And she was like, you're absolutely not canceling. Oh. And we're very, very lucky, blessed. Some would say I don't know how people are, religious and whatnot. But we're in a very good position. Like I have a car that we don't use. I have a work car and I have my Camry, which is in great condition. We can still drive, and we don't have thousands of dollars in the bank, but I could cash out.
I imagine that Melissa is going back to work this week.
Yeah, I can cash out my vacation early. I can cash out retirement funds. So we can at least get a down payment somewhat quickly and get back to some sense of normalcy. But things would be a little tight a little bit for, I may not be able to buy all the consoles and everything that I wanted to, but everybody's okay. And so thank you.
How about that Ellie edition?
That's still happening. Yeah, that's
okay. about to say, do I need to cancel or not?
That's not going anywhere. No, that's definitely happening. And you actually, in a lot of ways, I'm also in a really good position because I've bought like every game I'm going to play. It's already been purchased and paid for.
Right,
I was paying all that off in Best Buy like ahead of time, so I'm pretty good there too. So yeah, long day.
I can't even imagine, dude.
So she's upstairs on the couch. She can't move. Like she's like on like a boot and everything. We got to take her to get a cast tomorrow. I'm super behind at work. Like my boss could not believe it. He actually told me to stay home today so I could get things done because I'm under a deadline for Friday and Monday with the election coming up. And I messaged him at 9:30 this morning, a picture of the car, and he was like, "You've got to be kidding me." It's like there's no work getting done today, and I may not have none done tomorrow. So I might have to work a weekend too, actually, because like the election's coming. I gotta, the election has to happen. So there's no, So just tough day.
It happens.
Yeah.
Highs and lows.
And that's the benefit of, I don't know how the team members feel about this, actually. I've never actually asked anybody about it. But a lot of times when I've been on other podcasts or people ask me about PSVG, I often mention us like a family. Because it is like days like this, and I'm not the first person to have a bad day where, being in the Discord and having the support of everybody to bounce off everybody means a lot. And I'm sure other folks feel that way, but I don't think too many podcast outfits probably behave that way. In a lot of ways, I think we behave like a family.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's much more informal and close and intimate like that than it is like any sort of working relation. None of that's getting on to the gaming topic, getting back to where we are, I want to start the show by saying that I got the 8-bit baby controller.
Look how small that is, dude. Yeah. All right, I knew it was going to be
Let me get one of my amiibo cards. Here we go.
A little bit tiny. Wow.
Amiibo card.
Oh, I might get it just because it's so cute.
Oh, it's adorable, isn't it? Melissa saw it and she was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
But
it is baby's first controller.
The fact that they don't have the grips behind, I've gotten so spoiled with my Satisfy grip.
Yep.
And I just can't not have that back.
Mm-hmm. I would love a grip for this because I've done some, it was a long day today, but I did do some testing, and that's why we're recording a little late. I played Super Mega Baseball. I played Breath of the Wild. I played Mario Kart. Played Mario 3. I played Ori.
Wow.
And just testing it out. Playing Breath of the Wild with this is difficult.
I can imagine
without the sticks, but also you use the L button to like pull up like bombs and use your runes. And the trigger buttons, if you see, they kind of wrap around the side.
Yeah, I see that.
So when you're playing, if you strain or push or like, you're going to click them.
That seriously looks like, aside from a woman with small hands like myself or a child, it doesn't look like it would be comfortable.
It's I can't tell you that it is. It's but I played like Mario 3 and Ori with it, and it's really nice. If you're looking for
I guess you get that old school 2D side scroll experience, and I think it works.
Yep, and it's super cheap. I think I got it on Amazon for $25. I think is what they're selling it for.
I think I'd seen those before. I was the turquoise, and like it matches the color.
It matches the colors of the lights. Jack's lights coming next week. But to be honest with you, the reason why I bought it is I think it's one of the most bizarre controllers I've ever seen. And that's what I said on Twitter. It's honestly just out of curiosity. Like, it has no sticks. If you're listening and you're not watching our video, you should have. If you're listening to this show, you've probably already seen it. But it has no sticks. It has 2 D-pads and then 2 sets of like D-pad buttons.
Yep.
So there's at first glance, there's like 4 D-pads on this thing. It's very odd.
What's the switch in the middle?
So it switches between what you compare to. So it's S for Switch and I think X for Windows or something else.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a wireless controller. It's got all the triggers and everything, $25, so like if you were tight and you wanted you couldn't get a pro controller or something like that, it's an option.
Right.
I think you can play Breath of the Wild. Like I played it, you can play it. I played Mario Kart. It can be done. It's not awful. It just takes a lot of, what it reminds me of? You know what it feels like kind of in your hands? It feels like you're playing the Switch with like a 3DS, kind of.
Yeah, it does have that size, like the old 3DS.
Yeah. So like the way that the triggers are like next to each other, the way that the D-pads, like it kind of feels like you're playing with a 3DS.
Yeah.
And just like the 3DS, sometimes like I think simpler games, like I think I could play Link's Awakening with this controller, no problem.
Sure.
Right? It'd be just fine. But like in the 3D games, like I would never dare to try to play like Overwatch with this controller.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I got you.
But I thought it was really, really neat. Like again, just bizarre to be honest with you. This is like just a thing to have.
Yeah.
It's like
It's one of those things that I feel like down, 20 years down the line, they'd be like, what were they thinking making that thing?
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
I love 8-Bit Do's sort of Super Nintendo controller that came out recently.
That's what I have.
The Game Boy Color scheme, that's on my wish
I have
list.
the 8-Bit Do. It's actually right there. I have the 8-Bit Do Famicom controller. Now that controller is way better than this controller.
Oh, for sure.
That is a legit Pro controller replacement.
Right. 8-Bit Do makes really good stuff. So the fact that they made something like this is just a little bit laughable.
One of the cool things with this is, especially if you've got kids, like Jack really likes this controller. He was playing Fortnite with it, and he liked it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that he said, because like I showed you, he's got a little Pokemon case that comes with his light, right?
Right.
This controller will fit in any case because it's so small.
Yeah.
So you could just slide it in a case, and you've got a player too if you're playing on this light.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you're playing on the light, you can't like split the Joy-Con. So this is, I think it's a very limited appeal, but there are some use cases where this might. It has no gyro.
Yeah, Dylan in the chat wanted to know.
And I would have thought like gyro would really make this much more appealing in certain games.
Sure.
Because the first thing I did with Breath of the Wild, I was like, oh, if this had gyro, it wouldn't be so bad. It's bad because you have to use the D-pad as a stick.
Right.
But if you had gyro, then all of a sudden that goes out the window and you're good. Yeah. But it doesn't. So
definitely a 2D side scroller kind of game.
Yeah, definitely. Castle Crashers, like Super Mega Baseball, I had a blast with, and it has like when you throw the ball, like you have a cursor that moves, so like having a stick is good. I didn't have any problem with that.
Okay.
The sticks also click, like the D-pads, you can click the D-pads in to do like a thumbstick click. So it's good. It's a full function controller that'll fit in the size of your hand. It's pretty cool. The only game I've been playing Call of Duty. Yay, Donnie! Go Call of Duty. So when I've not been playing Call of Duty, the only game that I've played that has anything to do with Nintendo at all is After Party. And I'm not playing it on Switch. I'm playing it on Xbox. So I can't even tell you about the Switch version of After Party, but I'm very, very excited to play this. It's from Night School, the makers of Oxenfree. And I have no idea how long it is, so I can't tell you how, but I've played it for like 4 hours. So I got to think I'm into it a bit. It's everything I wanted it to be so far. The writing is hysterical. It is so good. It is.
Oxenfree's writing was really good too.
It is on brand. The only thing I can say about it is I'm playing on an Xbox One X, and it runs like garbage right now. Like it runs like hot trash. I took maybe 5 video recorded. I posted one. I actually thought about taking it down because it just felt like maybe I was being mean. But the game like just freezes at points, and it doesn't like freeze. You got to reboot the game. It just freezes for like 10, 12 seconds at a time, and then it snaps back in and keeps playing. But it, like when it's streaming in either new assets or trying to load or save, the game just chugs and freezes.
There were issues with that where they ported when they ported Oxenfree to the Switch. You remember those load times?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I don't know if it's an issue with their dev team or if it's just, I guess it was originally on Windows and then they just ported it to Xbox. Is that what they were doing?
I mean, yeah, I think it was they want to put their stuff everywhere. I mean, that's
sure.
So I think that was it. I think they want to support Switch. I hope Switch is doing better. Listeners, if you're playing After Party on Switch, maybe it runs better. Maybe it's the Xbox like X. Maybe they're like the 4K and stuff is just too much. But I don't want to tell you that it's not. Like, I don't want to tell you not to buy the game. Definitely buy the game. Support these games. They make quality games. If you're a Switch only owner, this is something you should put on your radar. If you liked Oxenfree, if you haven't tried it, you still put it on your radar because it's good. But like, I just think it might be rushed. Like I was playing it, and I was like, this game probably could use a few extra weeks. Like they probably could have just held on to it, and just like maybe don't release it right before Halloween. Like maybe release it in Thanksgiving. Yeah. And I think maybe the Halloween. At this point, I'm just grasping for straws, but
sure.
It's not running well. It's just running bad. And it just.
Hopefully they can patch it.
It dampens a little your excitement, but you're right. They'll patch it, and it'll be running good. Hopefully they patch it by the time I fix it, or by the time I finish it.
Yeah.
But the voice acting is fantastic, and the writing is excellent.
They always do a good job with voice acting, though.
Oh yeah, and it's got a ton of people in it. Everybody's in it, and so in hell, when you go down there, all of the demons that torture you, they treat it like it's kind of like Office Space. Like they treat it like everything's a job. So you have all these demons and everything, and it's all like this conveyor belt type of like monotonous thing. So the demons are like, "Oh my god, are you gonna like torture us forever?" And they're like, "Yeah, until 5, but 5 we're off the clock. We gotta go to the bar." So it's a lot of those types of jokes, which are great. And then the demons also have Twitter. It's called like Bicker. Yeah, it's called Bicker.
That's great.
And so as you're walking around and, doing all the puzzles and finding all the things to advance the story, all these tweets are popping up around you. And they either have clues to what you're doing or just making fun of like human stereotype, making fun of Twitter type stuff. And
that's pretty cute.
It's really good in that regard. The game looks beautiful. When it's running at full frames, it looks fantastic. And the hell setting is very, very cool. It's kind of, I don't know, it kind of has like South Park vibes at times. It's very self-aware and tongue-in-cheek, and it's fantastic. It's really, like I said, outside of just the performance issues, which I would call minor. It's definitely not constantly running like garbage.
Yeah.
But it's happening enough to where, if you're thinking about being early, maybe just give it a couple weeks. But everything else I'm loving. Is everything I want it to be. And Viva La Game Pass. So glad I get to play it. And when it goes on sale, I'll buy it on Switch too. That same thing I did for Oxenfree. I bought Oxenfree. So I'll buy it again.
Oxenfree super cheap.
Yeah, they were doing Oxenfree for like $3 for a year.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. All I've been playing is that Doraemon Story of Seasons. I'm almost at the end of summer, but I've been switching between that and Brian's still hogging my Switch, trying to finish Fire Emblem for his maddening mode. I asked him, I said, "What are you going to do after you finish this one?" He goes, I can't remember what he said. He said something to the extent like he was going to play another route, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." But Doraemon Story of Seasons is really fun. It actually, the humor and the story cutscenes in the game between the characters are so cute and so like punny that I'm like, if the anime is like this, I really would like to watch Doraemon. So it's actually turning me onto the show, which
Nice.
I didn't know anything about the show before I sort of.
Are you actually going to watch it? And are you seriously contemplating it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'd love to hear your reactions as to like how different or anything feels from the game. Because, like I said during Persona got me to watch the series, and like the main core Persona game, I think I'd prefer to watch the series. Like, you know what? I'll just watch the anime versus playing the game.
On the opposite, like Doraemon is taking a pre-existing manga and anime. Didn't Persona just retrofit it to an anime?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a different. Doraemon's an old series. It's been going on since the 70s. But yeah, it's really cute, really fun. Brian and I are laughing at a lot of the cutscenes. They're just really cute, and I'm having fun with it. I'm actually getting so far ahead in the story that I have to slow down and get relationship built up with the NPC villagers because I'm going too quick. I'm doing things too well. Benji taught me a neat little trick that there's a secret pond behind the big tree in the forest. That there's 2 kinds of fish that you can get in that pond in the summer only. It's either crayfish, which is the tiny fish shadow, or the large fish shadow, which is a mabanga. I'm pretty sure this is a real fish. It looks like a gar mixed with a piranha. So it's got carnivorous mouth, teeth, creepy. I don't like fish as it is. But the great thing about these fish is they're really like sort of rare. I catch maybe about 5 a day.
Nice.
So there were 2,500 each.
Let me see
and
this.
then some.
I'm trying to think of the right way. I want to say how hard is the game, but not necessarily like in doing things, but like in systems and stuff and crafting and all that. Like, how difficult is it? Do you really need to know what you're doing? I mean, because you've played a lot of these, so you might take it for granted. What I'm asking is, like, could Victoria play it and know what she's doing?
Sure. Okay, so let me just say, the one thing that I disliked about this was the tutorial, because the tutorial took forever for me. As a veteran, I know all of this stuff. I know about the chickens. I know about the cows. I didn't need to learn it all. And going back, I did it mostly for making sure I didn't miss any story. But it's really there to help beginners that haven't picked up any sort of Harvest Moon Bokomono game. Yeah, I think she would be good at it. I think she would probably like it. There's really just, raising animals, raising crops, upgrading your tools, will rinse, repeat.
Okay,
And then there's a story mechanic.
She played Stardew for about 40 hours before she just.
I think Stardew is way more in depth than this game.
Okay, that helps me a little bit because
you have to know a lot about Stardew.
When you're talking about it, it makes me want to give it to her to try. But at the same time, we're so close to Animal Crossing. I'm like, just hold off. She doesn't play many games anyway.
It's $60 download, so I wouldn't buy it for her right now.
Okay.
Yeah. If this game were $40, I'd say absolutely. The only reason I got it immediately is because I didn't know when I was going to get a physical again, and I love this series. I would pay $100 for a game. But yeah, I totally recommend it. I think she'd be good at it. It's not that difficult to pick up. Other than that, I am getting a physical, also Asian English copy, Nintendo Soup. Like, they are...
I told you.
What I didn't know I needed, right?
You're welcome.
This is where I got Doraemon, and they're based out of Singapore. So Singapore, Malaysia, that area of Southeast Asia gets English releases as like a normal thing because English is their common language over there. And I'm getting a physical English copy of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. They're only released in Japan and Southeast Asia, and I think maybe China. But that's the only place you can get a physical English copy.
And it's so cool. I love it. I showed you the GIF where you put the card in and all three of the
all
things
three pop up. Oh, I can't wait.
So cool. That makes me want one.
I know.
To be honest with you.
Is amazing.
Just that. I don't want to play the games, but just put a card in and see them all pop up is worth paying for it.
I think I'm going to become a Dragon Quest fan. I still need to play through 11S.
Just have mine.
I'm gonna do it.
You know what? No, you can't have it. I need the money. Like now. Actually, let me take that back.
I told you I'd buy it.
Take that back. We need the money.
I'd buy it. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and play some Dragon Quest games. Cool. I have played Dragon Warrior, which is Dragon Quest 1. Yeah. Way back on my cousin's NES. Like
I played
long
7
time
and
ago.
4. 3? 7 and 3 maybe.
All the handheld ones, yeah. So, cool. I'm excited. I'll get my JRPG fix for a while.
You should be. Yeah. I'm excited for tomorrow. Definitely need it after today. Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out.
Yep. It's coming out. If barring UPS giving me crap like they always do, it should be delivered tomorrow while I'm at work.
It's going to storm all day, which means that the trick-or-treaters might be few and far between.
Yep.
Which means I might be sitting on the porch playing a little more Luigi's Mansion than I anticipated. So I'm kind of excited for it. And our first news story was basically just that Luigi's Mansion 3 is getting pretty good reviews.
It is.
Not stellar reviews, not amazing reviews, but very solid reviews. All the
8s and 8.5s across the board.
Yep. All the aggregates are in the high 8s, the great 8s, all that good stuff. So, get what you look for. I'm excited to play it. It seems to be there's not a whole lot of dissension amongst the final score, but there does seem to be a lot of dissension in whether or not you like it or not. There's a lot of I don't know if I like this game. I don't think it's better than the other ones. Or there's a lot of other people who are like, this is the best Luigi's Mansion game to date. So, it's been, 20 years?
Oh my gosh. No, it has not. 2001. Don't put that on me. It's been 18 years.
That's close, right? So, I'm excited.
We've only had 3 games.
And I actually am excited. I think I'm more excited now than I ever have been. I don't know why. I was thinking about it last week. I haven't been able to play a whole lot of games actually since last Thursday between all the podcasts and DLC and editing everything. It's been difficult. But I was thinking last week I almost talked myself into booting up Odyssey and trying it all over again. I don't know. I kind of just feel like I'm in the Mario mode, like the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so. So.
Luigi should scratch the itch.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to play Odyssey. And then I looked up and I was like, no, I'm not. Luigi's coming out next week. I'll just wait. So
I am taking November the 1st, Friday, all day off. So if you're listening to this now, I'm going to be streaming over on Twitch all day.
Nice. Right after our show ended last week, while I was editing the show, news started to break in Japan of this Persona 5 trailer Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, information dropped. Now, I talked about this on PSVG Prime, but I know a lot of Shack listeners don't listen to it. I'd like to just start by saying I'm overly excited for this. I am so excited for this. I want the collector's edition. I want all the things because this trailer I thought was amazing. It was so...
It is so pretty. I like them with their summer vacation stuff. Like
Yes.
I saw all that and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna buy into this anime Japanese trope stuff.
When they
They're gonna hook me.
announced that, I was going to say Sumo, but it's not Sumo. Who is it? Megaforce? Who are the devs that do the Warriors games?
Yes.
Yeah. So when they announced that Persona was getting the Warriors treatment, to be honest with you, I was like, okay, I'm excited. This is a game that I've actually always wanted. For years, I've been saying that I wanted Persona to go this route. But when they announced it, I expected like a Fire Emblem Warriors type of effort.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's going to be good. It's going to be, like I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it, but it's not going to be the game. I actually think when it was announced, I went on and on about how I would love it if they really did it. And this trailer looks like they're really, really doing it. They have all these different cutscenes, all these different supports.
I might buy this game.
It's a direct sequel to Persona 5. It has its own story. The kids are on vacation. They're traveling in a little Volkswagen van. There are 2D platforming sections. I'm so excited. It looks so good. Me and James Games are tweeting live when the trailer's going out. We were both like, this is blowing you away, right? Like, nobody thought it was supposed to be this good. I thought it, to borrow a Kevin euphemism, cash grab. Like they were just gonna...
But with all of this coming and it being a direct sequel only on the Switch, you think they would be
on PS4
porting.
too.
Huh?
It's on PlayStation 4 as well.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But you would think that they would be porting the OG P5 to Switch.
Unless PlayStation has some sort of exclusivity over the title, which it could. It's been in the
so
works for...
dumb.
Yeah, but you remember, it's a PlayStation 3 game. Persona 5 is in the works for years. It was a long time ago. Like, they didn't know the Switch was a Switch when they were making Persona 5. Right?
Still, man.
It was 2 years before, like, dev kits went out when they were on that thing. So, they may have an exclusive contract. Because the Wii U was terrible. Right? It's possible. I could see that. I definitely could. I understand that. That makes sense to me, at least in the timing of things. But anyway, I'm very, very excited. There is an art book, a soundtrack, collector's edition, all that. And I can't wait. I can't wait. This is jumping at the very... If there's an English option, I'm going to import it. But it's marked February 20th, 2020 for Japan. Mm-hmm. So we have no idea what that means for us. Maybe fall,
I think
summer.
It'll probably be... They always get everything Persona first, so I think you guys are probably going to be waiting until the summer.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't imagine the fall. It could be a while. But if there's an English option in one of the Japan versions, I'm importing it right away because I want to play this game. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I do want to.
It looks really pretty.
I also do. Kevin brought up a really good point. I would like to see what it looks like on Switch because I do question what I saw on the screen. If that's what I'm going to see on the Switch, I guarantee you all of it's PlayStation 4.
Probably.
So what's the downgrade like? Because that could also sway my opinion. If it's a big downgrade, I'll play it on PlayStation.
It also has that like style though that
it does.
It looks like it would be good. I don't know.
Persona might be my favorite video game style. Like the Persona style, its themes, like the way they do fonts with their shadows and the menus and everything. I am so infatuated with that. Like I'm so over the moon with everything that is Persona outside of play this game for the rest of your life. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Everything else, I love it to death. And I remember when Persona 5 came out and like Joker and we were arguing with Kevin, and the first thing that I wanted to say, I just didn't want to sound like such an ass about it. I just think Persona's cool. Persona has like such cool factor. It is like Finn Balor cool. I mean, it is so just cool. It is like the itch for me. I just really, really dig it. If they made Persona amiibos, I'd buy those. If they made Persona trading cards, like I'm so into just it.
You know that little Corrin that you have?
Yeah.
They have little babies of all of the characters.
Yeah, and I've seen a few, and like Anne would be the one. I've seen a few, but I've never seen one that I was like, I gotta have.
And has some big statues.
They've got that Panther one. I just don't think it looks right. Like
a lot of them are based off of the anime and not just the game.
Yeah. The anime's great. I wish there was an English version, like an English voice version, because I would buy that and rewatch it.
They're probably working on dub.
The sub's hard to follow along with.
Yeah, if you haven't done it like for years like me, it's hard to get
It's
into.
difficult when you first get started. I had a website and I joined a Discord and everything where a guy was writing reviews and he was helping me like along episode by episode. It was actually a really fun experience. I really liked it. Yeah, thank you. It was on Hulu. So if you guys want to go watch it, it's really cool. It's a great story. Great story. Love it. Love the Persona stuff.
Cool.
Shigeru Miyamoto will be honored by the government in Japan as a, quote, person of cultural merit, one of the highest honors to be bestowed upon a creator in the country. And this is reserved for writers, novelists, music, art directors, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he absolutely deserves it.
He's like the man.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for us to not show our bias. We're
Did
called the
Iwata get it?
Nintendo Shack. I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe they can posthumously put him in there
have to
eventually.
look at it. I mean, I didn't look it up. I only grabbed the tweet headline. But,
Right.
I mean, this guy made Mario and Zelda. Talking about
And Star Fox and
two
everything
of the most
else.
iconic, name recognized, not just games, characters.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world knows who Mario is.
Yep.
He's freaking Mickey Mouse. Like, that's a
Yeah,
huge
I know.
deal.
Yep.
That's massive.
I can't wait to see what Nintendo's representation is going to be at the Olympics this year.
Do you know how that dwarfs, like, even like your biggest and best Western video game, Halo? Halo's huge. Not Mario.
Yeah.
Mario
I know.
laughs at that. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I have amusement parks built around me. like Mario is such a big thing. Like, it's such a what a huge hit.
It's amazing. Speaking of, dude, can we me and Brian are obsessed with the Olympics. So
Yeah.
he and I will probably want to chime in and do a special cast,
Yeah, we can do that. It's not a problem.
about just
Sure.
they're going to have Nintendo stuff for the opening ceremony.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're gonna have like a flag or like a
Because
balloon
don't you remember the closing ceremonies at Rio where at the end the Japanese director or whatever comes out of the pipe wearing the cap? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like here's Japan in 2020. Here's what you get to look forward to.
It should be
So
awesome.
it's going to be amazing. And they also get their Super Mario World theme park opens next year
That's
too.
right. Yep, I haven't seen the pictures of that. Yeah. So
Big stuff.
congratulations, Shigeru Miyamoto. He did say in a follow-up interview that he's not retiring. So everybody always asks him that every time. He's like, I'm not going
Of
to
course,
retire.
he's almost in his 70s, isn't he?
He's not going to be around forever. Like we're at that point where you've got to start preparing yourself for the day where he's not.
We were watching a video on YouTube talking about how he created Mario in the 80s when he was 35 or something. So that was almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
I know.
Like, that's gonna hurt.
Gosh, depression for days.
Not
for
depression,
years.
celebration, Kira. We're not going to be depressed. What we're going to do? We're going to fire up some damn Mario Kart. We're going to cart for Miyamoto, just like we did for Iwata, and it's going to be amazing. That's what we did.
No.
So what this community did, we carted for Iwata all night long, and it was awesome. And if that day ever comes, wherever we are, PSVG or not, that's what's going to happen. So
Yep.
he deserves it. Let's get into our Shaq questions. Direct from you. We got two questions that are basically the same thing. From Chalfie, is there a game that is your go-to for moments when you need an escape from real life? And then Grouchy followed up, do you have a go-to stress reliever game after a day like today? Obviously, with my news, these questions are centered here.
Animal Crossing and any Harvest Moon, Bokomono, Story of Seasons, Stardew Valley, anything chugging along, doing farm work. It's just a routine.
My go-to game when I want to veg out and kind of forget about the world is probably Mario Golf or Everybody's Golf, a golf game, like one of those games. Definitely not like Tiger Woods, like one of those games.
Yeah.
Dare I say like a Zelda game, like Ocarina or Breath of the Wild? I've done that a bit
There
too.
would be times when I needed to just disappear and I just got lost in Zelda Breath of the Wild for a few hours.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of an escape game than golf game. Golf is like I just kind of turn my brain off, but with a Zelda, I kind of put on headphones and like disappear for a while.
Yeah.
But do you know what to be the best way to answer this is not so much in a game, but like this, like Shaq, like podcasting, doing this with you and talking and being around people, because it's so easy for me to just like go
Oh, I know. Y'all went 3 hours on horror this
Well,
past
I wasn't even
weekend.
talking about that. It's so easy for me to like go crawl up and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh,
to
I'm the
just-
same way.
to get
Like, if
real
I didn't-
silent and like
Yeah.
even at home and just go in my basement and stay away, play games and just kind of recluse.
Yeah.
So podcasting always kind of is a good stress release for me, just
Yep.
to kind of get it out.
I'm the same way. If I didn't have this every week, the only people I would interact with would be Brian and my mom. That's it.
Ooh, Sean Capri writes, do you guys have a game of the year front runner at this point? I mean, I guess that's a valid question. We're almost in November. You know, I don't think you're going to like it. I know what your game of the year one is, but you know what my game of the year I think is?
What?
Or at least on Switch. Let's keep it Nintendo. Astral Chain.
You know, Astral Chain's good. I haven't played Pokemon yet, so I don't really
I know
know.
that. But yours has got to be Fire Emblem.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
See, I know yours.
Yeah,
I just didn't think you'd like me putting Astral Chain over Fire Emblem.
No, it's not that. I need to go back and finish Astral Chain. Like, I haven't played the epilogue yet. I've definitely got the most out of Fire Emblem this year compared to anything else. I think I've played Fire Emblem probably the third most time-wise behind Xenoblade and Breath of the Wild.
Nice. I know I did. I did our show with Isaac, and I said all the things. I talked about an hour for it, so I don't want to go too long. But I really love Astral Chain. Astral Chain, what it does on Switch, like visually, what it does is a step above what most games on the platform have.
Yep.
And then all the action, and then I don't think I got this point across well in my little recap podcast with him, like the grandness of the story and how big everything gets. And like you expect that with a platinum game, but it's not just like giant like cutscene set pieces. Like the apocalyptic destruction that they depict in this game and stuff is really, really my ish. That's why what did I do? Beat this game in like 4 days. Like I just turned
I know,
through
you went right through it.
Yeah, it was one of those games where I didn't want to put it down. I was like, I love what I'm doing right now, and all of the action and everything, really, really good. Lots of different options. I think it's a really great game. I will say this, since he's in the chat and listening to this. I'm sure we'll have time to talk about it, and maybe it can still be saved. Maybe Star Wars and Pokemon are amazing. This year's not like last year. It's not like the best years. It's not. That's not to say it's not a great year, but I remember like last year's my top 5. I had 2 or 3 games that I was like, these are game of the generation type. Like these are great. Like I don't know if any of the games I've played this year are at that level. They all seem to be like a rung down. This is kind of like a B year. That's good. But
you have to have, some down years between the big stuff,
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
We're going to be riding the high again when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out.
Absolutely. And I know this last year we were saying that about this year, and then this year everything got delayed into next year, and now we're all saying about it next year, and I'm sure next year half of it will get delayed into the following year.
Yep.
So like that's just the way games go.
It is. Everything has just been kind of dialed back for me, and the only thing I'm looking forward to is Animal Crossing. So I just don't think that anything at this point can top my hype for that.
I'm very, very excited for Pokemon.
I am too.
And it's
don't
dropping
get me wrong.
at a good time.
I'm probably going to play that
from
until
work.
the end of the year, maybe into January.
Yeah.
So I'm buying both of them.
Very, very excited for Pokemon.
Yep.
Our next question also comes from Grouchy, and I like this one. This is an interesting one. As I burp because I'm drinking because I've had a bad day.
No, it happens.
Take the PSVG crew, cast them into a horror movie.
Oh, God.
What roles do they play? Who dies first? Who's the idiot that suggests to hide under the bed? Why is it Lucas? Who is the sole survivor to come back for the sequel?
Oh, my God.
All right.
This is all you, okay? I don't do horror. I don't know the tropes. You go ahead and take this one.
All right. So Caroline is not the promiscuous girl that dies on the dock by the lake. She's the girl that gives the glaring, ugly look to that girl. So when that girl's all like, "Oh, let's go outside," Kara's like, "She's gonna die." So she's
I'm like, bye-bye.
Kara's the smarty two shoes girl in the group.
Velma.
Coach Endeavor, the athletes. They're the guys in the leather jackets.
Oh, yeah,
so
dude.
cool for school. Let's see here. Kevin and Jason are like the anti-heroes, or like the snobs, like the douche type guys in the character roles.
Douche.
I'm trying to like stick to the stereotypes, but they're the smart alecks. They don't listen, they don't follow the rules, they're not doing everybody's like, let's go this way, they're like, we're going that way. That's what they're doing. I think Lucas and Seth, and we have so many people on the team, I gotta pull up a list, I'm gonna forget everybody. Let's call Josh. They're like the campfire guys, like they're just cool, they're hanging out. They might have substances of sorts around. I'm trying to keep it family friendly, keep it for the podcast. But
we've already said douche. I mean,
that's
come on.
true. That's true. They're cool. They're hanging out like, what's up, bro? Like they got the dude thing going on. They're hanging out. They're doing cool. I can't cast myself, so I don't know what I'll let you cast me. But that's.
I don't watch horror. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha. So let's see here. Who dies first? Well, obviously it's Devin for horror reasons, like just this way horror movies work.
He's a black guy.
No, there's actually, I was on the horror podcast. There is a
wasn't there a movie about that called Get Out or something?
Yeah. There's actually on Shudder. There's a whole documentary called Horror Noir. It talks about Black history amongst horror, and like this trope that we all believe is true is actually not true. But it's actually funny to make the joke about, so I'll keep the joke and say Devin dies first. Who's the idiot that suggests to hide under the bed?
Lucas.
I mean, he says it's Lucas. I don't know why he says it's Lucas. I don't think that would be it. I think Lucas is like, there's always in the group, there's always one guy who like panics and like freaks out. He's like, oh my God, guys, I think that's Lucas. I don't know. I don't want to say that to anybody, because here's the thing. This is a double-edged sword. It doesn't matter what I say. If I say anybody, they'll all be mad at me. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no way out of this that I can say. I will tell you this, though. Here's one I do feel very confident on. Who's the sole survivor that comes back for the sequel? Kevin. Because he's that spiteful guy at the end of the movie that everybody's going to be like, oh, him? And he's going to be like, see, guys? I told you. The sequel. Like, I'm telling you, right? So that's what's going to happen.
Why don't I survive?
Oh, Chalfie has casted me. Donnie is the logical guy that nobody listens to. That's probably good. I'm like, guys, I'm telling you, he's going to be over there in the shed. Everybody, let's go hide in the shed. Why isn't anybody listening to me?
Yeah.
That's so fitting.
Yeah. It's I would just pull out a 45 and shoot everybody.
We have that Avengers clip in not Infinite War, but in Endgame, where they're all trying to scheme a way to defeat Thanos. And I've always told Dev and Kevin that's like that is, because we did like the whole Devin cast us as MCU characters.
Yeah.
That skit is perfect. Like that little clip is perfect for us as a team. Because you have Iron Man, he's like, all right, guys, get together, let's have a plan. And then you have Drax, he's like, we're not about plans, we're like kicking names, take it. And like the other guy's like, yeah, we don't do plans. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Spider-Man's like, who are these people? It's very apropos. Ethan wants to know, what's your favorite Halloween candy, Caroline?
Kit Kat.
Ooh, good one. You answered that
Kit
one quick.
Kats. Oh, dude.
Melissa loves Kit Kats. You guys are like sisters.
All right, so it's like, no, the weirdest thing is
she has a Kit Kat in the freezer right now.
Oh, I bought Kit Kats at the store. No, I bought Kit Kats at the store to give to the people or the kids, and we've already eaten through half the bag.
You turn the lights off. There we have no candy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. But Mom said that my late grandmother, who I never met, she died before I was even born. She said that was her favorite candy, and the fact that you are obsessed with it is just like, she's like, you're more like your grandmother than just like I would ever imagine. So It's kind of weird.
Yeah, you and Melissa's overlap is weird. I like sour candy. So
does Brian. Weird. Brian likes Sour Patch Kids and Sour Punch straws.
One of my favorites are like the Mike and Ike sours.
I just like regular Mike and Ike's.
I like regular Mike and Ike's too. Sour Skittles, I have a bag of Starburst jelly beans. That's the stress thing that I do. I love Starburst jelly beans bad.
Starburst jelly beans are really good.
I get really, really excited to eat Starburst jelly beans. When I'm really feeling it, I'm like, we've got to go to Walgreens.
I'm like that with Skittles, but ever since they made green apple Skittles instead of lime, I haven't eaten Skittles. Like, I buy the long lost lime versions when they're in stores.
Nice.
Ruin my Skittles.
Aaron wants to know, so now that Halloween is here, do we skip the Thanksgiving decorations, go straight to Christmas, or no?
No. I'm a Grinch, okay? I don't like decorating for Christmas anyway.
Who decorates for Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is like my favorite holiday of
What
the
do
year
you
because
do?
you freaking eat and you don't have to prep
Right,
for it
but,
at
like,
all
what
with
do
any
you-
decorations.
How do you decorate for it?
You don't. That's the great part.
Huh. I mean, I
hate
guess, like,
decorating.
I don't want to be sexist.
You light a freaking pumpkin candle and
That's
call
what I was
it
going
a
to say.
day.
I was about to say something sexist. It's called, like, the ladies decorate, but I was wondering if it's like...
I go buy one of those cinnamon apple brooms.
Yeah,
in front
that's
of
what
the
I was
store.
thinking. Melissa gets, like, little harvesty things, like little
I don't even do that,
sunflowers and things like that, and she does things
dude.
like
It's a day
that.
where you eat and you watch football, and it's freaking amazing.
But I don't think it's Thanksgiving decorating. I think it's more like fall decorating, right? It's not just Thanksgiving.
I've been burning pumpkin candles since September 1st.
There you go. Yeah, see, that's the thing. All right. Aaron, I'm just going to say yes. Yeah, we're going to take the Halloween decorations down and get ready for Christmas.
No.
Get your wreaths out. Get your trees out. Let's get going.
No.
Move it along. Move it along, people. Glorious. Mr. Moody writes in, I've just got a Switch. Apart from Mario and Zelda and Pokemon games, is there any games a newcomer should check out? Love the podcast. Keep kicking butt.
Stardew. You should totally do Stardew because the portability for Stardew is just amazing.
Let me push back here. Would you recommend to somebody who doesn't? I'm not saying Mr. Moody does or not, but he's a new Switch owner. Do you really think Stardew is the best recommendation to give somebody who's like about to play Mario and Zelda? Like, there's a big leap there.
Okay.
Ha!
Yoshi's Crafted World is
Ooh,
a good one.
Good one.
I'm looking. You go ahead. I'm looking at my list.
Oh man, Nintendo Shack episode number 1, Golf Story, baby, must have. Gotta get it. Golf Story is amazing. Great indie game. $10. Play golf. Laugh a lot. Old people that rap. Game's freaking awesome. Game is incredible. Got to do it. Splatoon is equally awesome. You got to do that as well.
Obviously Smash Brothers if you're into that.
Yeah, he said Mario, so I imagine he knows like Smash and Mario Kart and all that. Hollow Knight, but that's also in that realm where I don't know if I'd recommend Hollow Knight to everybody.
Hollow Knight's tough if you're not good at Metroidvania,
but it's awesome. It is a great game.
It is very good.
Valkyria Chronicles. Also not.
If
for
you're
everybody.
into RPGs, I recommend Octopath Traveler. I think Octopath.
Would you recommend that over Xenoblade? I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
They're different RPGs, though.
Of course.
Octopath is a turn-based JRPG where you're all lined up and you take turns hitting the enemy, and the enemy hits you, and all that stuff. Xenoblade is you're running around in an open field and everybody's fighting at the same time, and
Glorious Mr. Moody. I'm also going to pitch Football Heroes Turbo, which we continue to play. Still getting my money out of this indie game. The game is great. Really good football game. Best football game on Switch. Easy.
Oh, Overcooked.
Overcooked is a great game to... Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Overcooked is great. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, if you're not thinking of like that Mario.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Starlink.
Kingdom Battle is great. I haven't played Starlink. It's still in my box up there, and I don't think I'm ever taking the R-Wing out. I really don't. I don't think I'm going to do it. Luigi's Mansion's coming out, so I think you should. Luigi would be a good one.
It's very festive. It's very, yep, good timing. Mario Bros. U.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite 2D games in the series.
Still waiting for Super Mario 3D World.
So good.
Port.
So
Donkey Kong Country.
No, I don't know if I'd recommend that for everybody.
Okay.
I think Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is better than Donkey Kong.
I know a lot of people are playing that game right now.
It's good.
Kevin's going to be playing it for Extra Life this weekend.
I think you're going to love it. I really, really do.
All right. I got to play the first one.
Better than Tropical Freeze, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Better game. Ooh, Mr. Moody, Cap'n Toad. Go get that Captain Toad game.
That's an adorable game.
That game's
amazing.
amazing.
I still need to own it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really fun.
Oh, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. Go give that a try too. Really, really fun. Katana Zero. Yes. Always Katana Zero. Oh, I keep forgetting about the game every now and again. Talk about game of the year. That might be up there. I love Katana Zero.
What about your Pedro friend?
I mean, I love the game, but it's not like a great game. I wouldn't
got you.
equally recommend it. Whereas Katana Zero is awesome. This is a great game. Awesome game.
I'm also a Shantae fan. Shantae, Half Genie Hero, and Pirate's Curse are both on the Switch right now.
There you go.
They're on the eShop. Buy them. They're great.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay. A lot of options. Got to get it.
Yeah.
SNES Remix. Would you have Nintendo make it? And why is the answer yes? Jason Lacey. Jason Lacey.
Duh. I want NES Remix ported from the Wii U still. I don't think it's going to happen
I'm really
because
sad that they haven't done these yet.
Well, I mean, because they've got their NES online, and they've got their Super Nintendo online, but I totally would have
I think the
SNES
remixes were an amazing idea that they only came up with and only produced because they had to fill the calendar.
Well, there was nothing there. Yeah.
It wasn't worth putting big development teams, so they started getting a little wacky. And that wacky Nintendo is some of my best Nintendo. Like, that's some of my favorite stuff.
It was so good.
I've been wondering if games like the remixes, games like Wind Waker, if they're going to leave those to like the Wii U and be like, hey, our fans that bought this, they have this now. Like, I'm questioning, like, why would they bring Wind Waker over now? If it's not here by now, is it ever going to get here? I don't know.
They're going to do it as a 3-pack. They're going to do Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then Skyward Sword HD.
But why would they put in a 3-pack when they could just release Skyward Sword and sell all the same amounts at more money?
They're going to do the bundle, like the super amazing Zelda bundle for all those crazies like myself.
Oh, so it's like exclusive?
Yes.
To the $199 version?
Yes.
At this point, I would be willing to listen, and I would make the case that the only way we get Twilight Princess and or Wind Waker on the Switch is if the Switch gets another like generation. So you have this Switch, but then in like 2 or 3 years, there's the Switch 2, but it still keeps everything, and they use those titles to like fill in the gaps.
The problem,
but it would be like
porting,
5 years from now, because I don't see there any reason why they would come out with them now.
Both the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess had those amazing mechanics where you utilize the gamepad and the screen at the same time, and I love
that would have to be redone.
Mm-hmm. I love that, and I miss that. But yeah, they would completely have to just make it an open menu again.
Yep.
Sucks.
You know what I was playing today? That Super Mega Baseball. And it made me really wish I had motion controls. I think I'm going to tweet at them and be like, hey, can you like let me swing the Joy-Con and hit the ball, throw the pitch? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Eggshin, do y'all think the newly announced EA remasters, whatever they may be, will have a chance of coming to the Switch? So, have you seen this? Like EA,
I saw something about this.
They delayed all their stuff. They moved all their stuff to like the back half, and I think they canceled NBA Live until next gen. And they announced that they've got some remasters coming.
They haven't specified what though.
No, they haven't.
Okay. Probably not. Knowing EA.
I mean, so I'm trying to think here. I'm looking things up, but I'm also trying to think.
We got a chance of NCAA football coming back.
Yes, we do. And if EA gets it, which they will because they'll spend all the money on it, we'll never see it on Switch. Just like where we had one NCAA football game and it was awful. And I still play it. Okay. EA has a lot of stuff that they could remaster. The thing that makes the most sense to me is Dead Space. Dead Space should be remastered. It's one of the.
I want a remaster of SSX.
That's a
SSX
good one.
Tricky or 3.
But that's not going to sell like what EA wants to sell games at. They're not going to do the
understand that, but I mean, there was a huge following for the EA Sports or Radio Big, EA Big, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking I would absolutely buy some EA Big stuff.
Sure. I'm thinking Star Wars related, Command and Conquer, Dead Space, Medal of Honor.
Brian likes Medal of Honor.
Didn't they do Medal of Honor? Or am I forgetting somebody else?
I think they might have.
Command and Conquer should come to Switch if they remastered one, and I would buy it. That would be cool. Any of the sports games, but I don't think they would, especially if they use their new engine. Dead Space should. Mass Effect. I think everybody's wanted like a remaster Mass Effect trilogy. And basically after Andromeda, that'd probably be the next thing you should do before you do anything crazy. What's the other one? They do Dragon Age, right?
I don't know.
I would love to see Dragon Age 2 remastered. That'd be awesome, actually. That'd be a great idea.
They do The Sims. That's never coming back to console as far as I'm concerned.
Did you see them on their earnings call talk about Switch about that, by the way?
Mm-mm.
I saw this the other day, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm just remembering this off the top of my head. If anyone in the chat can correct me, but essentially, the Sims sold like some ungodly amount of number, right? It's like lifetime achievements, like crazy,
Right.
And on the earnings call, they're like, "Won't you bring this to Switch?" And essentially, their answer, and again, I'm paraphrasing, based off of a story I think I read on Go Nintendo. The answer was, our fans, studies show that our fans want to play The Sims more on other platforms, which doesn't make any sense because it's not available on Switch.
It's not, but I understand what they're saying. I bought the Sims games that were on GameCube and DS, and they were crap, dude. They were absolute crap. They tried to make it like an achievement-based thing where you had things were locked behind achievements, but free play on PC is just the way to do Sims.
Yeah, but like, how can you say we have data that shows our fans want to play it on other platforms?
I know.
When it's not even on the other platform.
I know.
You know, that's like 10 out of 10 won't buy a game that's not on Switch on Switch. It's like, duh. I would buy The Sims if it came to Switch. I would. I bought The Sims. I have The Sims on Xbox.
I would give it a try.
Yeah, I would too.
But there's just something about...
I would play a lot of EA games if it came to, what about like any of the Tiger Woods games? If they remastered any of those and released it, I would buy them in a heartbeat on anywhere. But I would definitely buy them on Switch. I would love if they did the Masters again and made it pretty. Yeah. That was the problem. They did the Masters. They did at the end of the last console cycle instead of kicking off the next one. You know, like the Masters is an awesome idea, but the game is ugly because it's on Xbox 360 and Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Gosh, has it been that long?
Yeah, it has. And it's just, I used to root and love and stick up for EA so much, and all of that's just been eroded away from me over the years. I don't hate them like a lot of Nintendo gamers do. I still love Madden and a lot of what they do, but man, I wish that them and Nintendo
did my old Harry Potter games too. All those original, like
nice, yeah.
The original Harry Potters were good.
Don't they own NBA Jam? I think they do that too. Know. Oh, I would love NBA Jam. I mean, we basically have it. We've got NBA Playgrounds, basically the same thing, but it's not the same. Yeah. Alan writes in, which I love this question: if the next Nintendo Switch was a dockable Switch Lite instead of a Pro model, would you buy it? I think this comes from your Animal Crossing question.
Yeah.
So
I need that for streaming and moving around.
This kind of makes sense. What if they do release a dockable Switch Lite? Like there is no Pro. It doesn't do anything new or special. It just allows you to dock it. It's the same price. That's so Nintendo. I can see that happening next year. They're like, hey, you remember that Switch Lite thing you like? Now we've made it where it connects to the TV. All of you that bought Switch Lites, go buy it again. Go buy another one. That's so 3DS. You know it, right? It's so
and
Nintendo.
I would buy it too.
I know. I would too. We're all suckers. I
haven't bought a regular Switch Lite, so the joke's not on me yet.
I totally would. Yeah. I'd buy one of those yellow ones, match my little controller.
When I saw those little 8-bit dough blocks, I was thinking to myself, I might get a turquoise one just so I can
you need a little controller.
Force myself to get a turquoise. It's so bad.
I would buy one. I would buy one, Alan. I think, I don't know. I mean, I definitely want a Pro model. Everybody that's listening to the Shack, they know I want more power. Power. I'm holding out for a Pro too. I mean, obviously, if Animal Crossing hits the Switch Lite, which it will, I'm buying that. But, the more that you talked about that last night or last week, I probably won't take it out of the box and play with it. I told you. I know. I don't know why you have this weird hiccup in your head, but if you just create a separate villager and you've got your portable villager and your console villager, it's still the same villager, still the same town. What does it matter? It's the same thing. Just do that. I would do that instead of messing with cloud saves. That's such a cleaner way to do this. Just play on the go and play at home. It's 2 different roles. If anything, you're playing 2 different roles. It's like you're rolling 2 characters at once. That could even have its own fun. You can play one as like the good guy, play the other as the bad guy.
We'll see. You can have 8 in one town, but I'm worried about if that limits the amount of villager spots you can have for animals or what.
Yeah, I doubt that. I mean, if it is, it's just one. It's not like you're going to open up your town to tons and tons of, everyone, right?
I got to have my cat town again. I got to have my cat town.
Yeah. I still think that's a I don't even know if we can do it correctly. But and like just in theory, I think that's a really good option that you should consider more of.
Okay.
It wouldn't be that different, right?
I got to see a bundle first. We got to be getting a bundle information about this thing in a January direct.
Yeah, in January. We're both thinking, yeah, that's January. You think we're gonna get a direct before Pokemon, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna do a Pokemon direct.
Yeah.
With maybe some little tie-in or something about bank or whatever, something. They'll do something.
Yeah, they got to explain it.
We gotta have evolutions details, transfer details, storage details, all that stuff's gotta still get pushed out.
We got 2 weeks.
Yep.
TikTok.
Bev wants to know, what's your favorite scary game on the Nintendo Switch? Or no, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Bev.
Nintendo system.
What's your favorite scary game you've played on a Nintendo system? Best spooky game on Switch? Ooh, I didn't read this one ahead of time. That's a good question.
Luigi's Mansion, the original one, probably just for me. I still, only because a lot of it for me is going back to thinking because I was 12 years old when I played it. Mm-hmm. I made the mistake of playing it at night, and it did freak me out a little bit. There were certain areas of Luigi's Mansion that, as a 12-year-old, I couldn't handle. So I also would say that Ocarina of Time post or turning into an adult is very, very scary in certain areas, especially with Redeads. Best spooky game on Switch.
I would have accepted Majora's Mask, not Ocarina of Time.
Majora's is creepy. I wouldn't say scary. It's creepy. It's eerie. Guys, I think I'm gonna have to reserve this for Luigi's Mansion. Thimbleweed Park is pretty spooky.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a point and click, but it's a mystery kind of. You're figuring out who got killed and why they got killed, and I'd say Thimbleweed Park.
Okay.
Oh, Oxenfree is spooky.
Oxenfree, that works. That's a good one. I'll reserve that one. Firewatch is good in that regards too. Every time I think of Oxenfree, I think of the other one. Mm. All right. When you say favorite scary game, Nintendo system, I immediately think GameCube, and that's where I played so many of them. And there's great ones on there. We're talking all the Resident Evil games: Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 0. All those are great. And they're on Switch, too. They're good options for you now. I mean, they're old games, but if you've never played them, they're great. They've got, well, they don't have 3 over there, right? We have Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. And then 1, 2, and 0. It sucks they don't have 3. We really need a 3.
I can't do Resident Evil. It's terrifying to me.
GameCube also had, Eternal Darkness, which I already mentioned. They didn't have Clock Tower. There's a lot of stuff like that. I wish I would have been more prepared. I would have brought more answers, but it's been a long day.
Eternal Darkness, that was Sanity's Requiem? Was that one? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to think back to GameCube because there was a lot of GameCube stuff that kind of freaked me out.
On Wii, again, Resident Evil 4 was awesome on Wii. I think it's best on Wii to date.
Did you play Geist? Mm-mm. That was on GameCube, I think.
So, Dead Space on Wii was good. Oh, and Silent Hill. I played Silent Hill Shattered Memories on Wii, I think is what it's called. I love that game, too. That game was great.
Trace Memory for the DS is another spooky puzzle mystery game.
My favorite scary game on portables is Dementium. Dementium Remastered, which is on 3DS. Dementium, which is on DS. That is from Jules. What was his old thing? His old outfit. Oh, I can't remember now. It's going to haunt me.
Oh, before Tui?
Yeah, before Tui. Renegade Kid. They did Dementium, and it was awesome.
I don't remember that.
They did Moon Chronicles, but Dementium is like this first-person, like, psychological award terror type thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Outlast, but before Outlast. Like, way before Outlast. Kind of like an early version of that idea. I loved that game back in the day. The game was really great. Oh, Dead Rising was on Wii. I remember that. You wag the Wiimote around and chop up zombies. It was pretty good. Pretty good stuff. There's good horror games, but to be honest with you...
Zombie U.
Oh, I love that game.
You like that one.
Oh, I love that game. You know what I...
Dude, there were like 1 million copies at GameStop the last time I went. They were selling them physicals, brand new, unopened for $2.
The game is so good. It's so underrated. It's so underrated. That actually brings me to something I want to... So I have not had Facebook since like 2012. When I was in college, I did like this ridiculous like study on the addictiveness of social media, and Facebook was primarily like highlighted, so I stopped doing it, and I just got off of it. And the other night, Melissa and I were reminiscing about like these videos I used to have with the kids. So I literally reactivated my Facebook for about 20 minutes, went in there and downloaded all my old videos and pictures, and then turned my account back off. And in doing that, one of the pictures that I had posted on my Facebook was of my original Wii U in its Zombie U decal skin, which was freaking amazing. It looked awesome. I'm going to pull the picture and put it in Discord. You guys got to see it. It was great. I had a great decal. But I love that game with the gamepad. I tried playing on Xbox. It loses everything about it without the gamepad. And I know folks that don't have Wii U, they won't understand it.
Yeah.
But it did, because what it did with the it was kind of like, I've said this a lot, and I feel like I feel strong that I'm right. Wii U was very much like the early grassroots way into VR. It was very VR before VR. Instead of strapping it to your face, but like the motion, the second screen, all of the things that VR does, Wii U was doing that. I think that's why I wasn't like so blown away when I saw VR. It's because there's a lot of ways I'm looking at VR and I'm like, I've done this. I get it. It's not like the immersive feeling of being locked in a headset. You can't, it's not the same. I'm not trying to say that. But the mechanics and like the presentation is very much the same. And in Zombie U, like having to manage your inventory, which is super scarce, and your backpack and all the things and your map and everything in real time, you could not pause the game. You had to stop. So you're this constant feeling of not feeling safe. And then they had these moments where the second screens worked together. Like you're running from a zombie horde, and these zombies were like, they would kill you. It's not like zombie games where you just murder thousands of zombies. Like you're out there with a cricket bat most of the time. Like you don't have a lot of ammo, so you have to sneak and be scary. You'd run up to a door that's locked, and it would pull up like a passcode. But to enter the passcode, you had to look at the gamepad. So you're looking at the gamepad, trying to type on the gamepad, and when you look up, there's like a mirror, and you see the people that are chasing you coming from behind you. See, that tension was perfect. I was so excited. One of my favorite launch games ever. Like, first night, first year, bringing home a console, such a great idea. And I think I just like it that much because of the idea. I like it so much for what the idea was outside of the thing. And then the whole permadeath thing. Like, your character dies, you re-roll a new character, and you can go kill your old character and get all your stuff back. So you can go and travel all the way back up to where you were.
Your old character that died that became a zombie.
You see them zombieing around with your backpack on. You're like, hey, it's my stuff. Super cool.
Wow.
Super cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks. I wouldn't have... I should have, like I said, I should have prepped for this question. I wish I did. But I love Zombie U. That's a really good answer.
My husband had a question as well that was on our Twitter, but we'll answer it.
Okay. Best spooky game on Switch, though. I do have a few that I like to highlight. I like to highlight The Coma, which is the best Clock Tower game I've had since Clock Tower back in the day. Detention, which is truly scary. So like The Coma is like funny scary. The Detention is like Ju-On the Grudge, super scary. All the Resident Evil games, I think the Outlast games are good. Layers of Fear is good. I think I'm kind of over those now, though. I've played a lot of them in the last 5 years, so not really my thing. So the Coma, Detention, those are great options. Anyway, that'll do it for us this week over here in the Nintendo Shack. Happy Halloween, Shackers. Really appreciate you listening to us. Again, if you want to support us, support the show, get some cool PSVG of the month patron giveaways until January. We have 2 months left. You better hurry up. And just all the extra stuff we do. DLC, Bored with Everything. Apparently we're about to have an Olympics show with Caroline and Brian.
I can't wait until August.
We do a lot of basically all of our experimental ideas that we want to do podcast wise. We always do exclusive to the patrons on. That's basically what that space has become. So if you really like what we're doing, you like the team, I can tell you that every month you're missing out about 6 to 10 exclusive podcasts that you can get for just $1. So you just $1 and you get into that. And then if you want to support us more, you get into more stuff. We'll have Christmas cards coming soon. So for those of you that are doing on the mailing list level, we're working on it. We're working on it. So Caroline, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, come hang out with me on Friday, though. Luigi's Mansion all day on November 1st.
I'm so jealous. I'll be working so much.
Yeah.
But I will live vicariously through you. We will play the Luigi, and we will have a guest coming in next week to talk about Luigi. So you can expect a lot of Luigi impressions, recaps, all that stuff next week.
Wow.
Whoa. That'll do it for us. Good night, Koopalings.
Bye.